Good morning, good people, fellow humans, students. Are my shoulders crooked or what? Okay, good morning, fellow humans. Today is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. This is the day for the monthly wraparound for our orphans and widows. Yes, rock and roll quotes. Orphans and widows. Our orphans and widows, what other people call the homeless, we see them as our orphans and widows. People living out in the desert, scurrying around in the park, trying to stay one step ahead of the whack-a-moling sheriff's deputies who are who are hired for obedience. The concept of the spirit of the law and the letter of the law doesn't really have much meaning to most of them. There are some exceptions, but for most of them, there's no concept of the spirit of the law. It's obedience. You're told to go take out some homeless person who's living up in the desert, bothering no one, just trying to survive. Yeah, arrest them, knowing they're going to be let out. You can just give them a ticket, same effect. Give them the $1,000 ticket, same thing's going to happen. No, we're going to arrest them, knowing they're going to be let out, knowing that their stuff is going to be gone and it's going to be with somebody else. So the stuff is just going to rotate around, the good stuff. The people manage to, the Coleman cooking stove, the propane stove, stuff like that, usable stuff. That's going to continuously be recycled through the homeless community, but the people are going to get whack-a-moled. Anyway, today is our monthly lunch, which we're going to get to be doing it every day, but it's our monthly lunch where at the Methodist Church, where we will have showers, barber, clothes, DWSS will be there, the VA will be there, the county will be there, the pastors will be there. We'll be there to help the people on their road to the opportunity to get on the road to recovery. Okay, anyway, so that's what's happening today. Big day, really big day. And our theme of today, the RAS, priming the RAS. What? Priming the RAS? What does that mean? Right, we're going to find out. First, let's get the advice from an 80-year-old. Advice from an 80-year-old: give people a second chance and a third, etc. Right, life is too short to hold grudges, to be vindictive, to want to get even. Focus should be on the North Star, eternity, becoming one with Jesus and the Father. That should be the North Star. And all of our actions through our life should be helping us get there. Not focused on personal salvation, focused on doing what Jesus taught. That's it, what he taught. Love God, love one another, and make disciples of all nations. Well, how do you love one another? You help the hungry, the thirsty, the sick, the naked, the unhoused, and visit the people in prison, in jail. That's what you do. All righty. Okay, so that's that. Advice from an 8-year-old: give a second and third chance. How about Seth Godin? What does he have to say? Increasing the dosage. If you're taking the wrong medication, that's not going to help. It doesn't matter how fast you're going or if you're headed It doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're headed in the wrong direction. Well, true in the way he means it, but it could be interpreted as I'm going the wrong way, I'm going fast in the wrong way. That means I'm getting further away from the right way faster, further away faster. So when I figure out what the right way is, oh man, because I was going fast the wrong way, it's going to take me longer to get back, or I have to drive even faster to get back the other way. And that happened to me a couple months ago when I went to northern Nevada for an event. Missed the turn, went 30 miles past, and I had to go back the 30 miles. Anyway, increasing the dosage. If you're doing the wrong medicine, it's not going to help to increase the dosage. Now, if it's ibuprofen, increasing the dosage might help. Right. Okay. What else do we have? Good one, daily stoic. Good one, individualism. People at first glance might think stoicism is about just about controlling oneself, focused on oneself, but it really is community. Community. Okay, so Matt has arrived. Haven't seen Matt for a while. And just to let Matt know, this is the monthly wraparound event. So I encourage you to go for a free spaghetti lunch. Get some clothes if you want to get a good haircut. You can do that. Clothes, haircut, you don't need to worry about taking showers, etc. Okay. So, how are we doing for time? Let's talk about the RAS. Okay, this is day 3 in week 2 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Oh boy. Protein powder in throat. Okay, so week 2, day 3. Week 2, inside my skull-sized kingdom. How does my brain work? Very simply, in the most simplistic form, on a kind of like cellular level. How does my brain work? What do my neurons do? How do my neurons work? What about neurotransmitters? What about the reticular activating system? What does that do? How does it help me? Why do I need to know this? Because I want to know why I behave the way I do. And so I can dial in who I need to be. Right? How do neurotransmitters work? Where are my beliefs stored? How does a belief get stored? How is it created, etc.? And today is the reticular activating system, which is about a pinky finger sized bundle of neurons in the brainstem, the top of the brainstem, where all of our senses come into our brain. All of the external influences, our ears, part of our eyes, our taste, smell, touch, etc. All that comes into the brain through our brainstem, through the reticular activating system. And today's speaker, Mark Dawes, will say it acts sort of like this. It's constantly scanning all information available to us. In other words, things we can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, etc. All things coming into our brain. It's like a filter, but it constantly scanning all information available to us in order to support our belief. The belief can be good, bad, right, wrong, true, false. It doesn't matter. If we have a belief, the reticular activating system is going to be filtering things out. One way to look at it is it's filtering all non-important stuff. Or you can say it's searching for important stuff. So what's an example of that? Well, the easiest example is you're in a room, you're talking to some people over here, somebody comes in the room, and loud enough, they say your name. You know, try to get your, hey, they say your name. And what happens? You return. We didn't know they were there. We don't know anything else. All we know is we heard our name. We were having a conversation here. Somebody said our name. And we got it, boom, just like that. How is that possible? Well, all of the sounds are going on around us. That's what we choose to focus, right? So one thing that's important to us is our name. In fact, it kind of works like this. Why is our name so important to us? Well, because at some point, at some time in our life, when we're really, really young, our mother said something like, if I call your name, respond, don't make me come looking for you. So when our name was called, uh-oh, that's important, and we respond. That's incredibly powerful. It used to be at the airports, it still is, but it's not really a big deal, that before cell phones and pagers, if somebody wanted to reach you and you're at the airport, they would call the airport and say, would you please make a courtesy call to so-and-so? And you would hear over the loudspeaker, the PA system, would so-and-so go to white courtesy phone? White courtesy phone, please go to a white courtesy phone. And if your name is called, you hear it. Anybody else's name is called, you don't really hear it unless it's a name of somebody you know who's important to you. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. System worked. So our RAS is always doing that. The key from Mark Dawes, from our TED Talks perspective today, the key is to program your reticular activating system for good, positive things. If you program it for negative things or for self-defeating, non-productive things, it will do that because it doesn't care. It's not a value-seeking thing in itself. So negative self-talk must be eliminated from your vocabulary. God, I suck. Well, if you say that and you believe it, your reticular activating system is going to scan all information available to you for all of the things that you do to support the belief that you suck. Don't do it. Carol Dweck will say, have a growth mindset. So that's programming the RAS for productive, positive things. And she would say, instead of saying, I can't type, to add the word yet at the end. I can't type yet. So what your RAS is going to do, if you say, I can't type, the RAS would be looking for all information available to support the belief that you can't type. Oh, damn, I made another mistake because I can see it on the paper. Right? Oh, damn, another mistake. And I would keep reinforcing the belief that I can't type. See, I can't type. But if you add this magic word yet to the end of it, I can't type yet, now what happens is your reticular activating system is looking for all information available to you to support the belief that you're learning to type. And one day you will be able to type. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, Mark Dawes also goes on to say you can't have affirmations don't work. An affirmation is something you don't believe, but you think that by saying it enough, you will believe it. That does not work. Tony Robbins says it needs to be an incantation. You need to believe it. It's going to work. You need to believe it's true, not a affirmation where if I say I'm smart, I will tend to believe I'm smart. No. Tony Robbins, you have to have an incantation. For Mark Dawes, it's our reticular activating system goes on what we actually believe, not what we pretend to believe. So you have to believe it in order for it to work. All right. Really powerful one. Wait, what happened here? Okay, good. Look like I bugged out again. Okay, so Wednesday, got to get ready for the event. Spaghetti plus bread plus salad. Right. Boom. Gonna have a good lunch today for the people. The people. And then we will move on. Okay. And with that, I'm going to say, what is our purpose for being here? To help people build better habits. Okay. And cut.